welcome to the first episode of the Nordic Talk, organized by the Nordic Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Bangladesh. The NCCI was formed in 2010, and I had the privilege to be part of this illustrious journey since its inception. It is one of the only two unilateral chamber of commerce in Bangladesh. 80% of our members are Nordic companies with investments in Bangladesh. Our mandate is to promote the interest of the Nordic business operating in Bangladesh. We are cooperating with the stakeholders, discussing and exchanging views on business conditions and issues affecting Nordic companies. Moreover, we work as a contact point for Nordic businesses looking to invest here. Previously, we had various seminars in association with the Nordic Mission in Bangladesh. The overwhelming positive response from all quarters made those events successful. Today's Nordic Talk is a continuation of that effort. Nordic companies can further contribute to the long-term sustainable growth of Bangladesh through FDI in infrastructure, power, healthcare, telecommunication, IT, agro, manufacturing and finance, with particular focus on innovation and climate sustainability. Members of the NCCI are contributing vastly to the growth of the country. We are working relentlessly to get more Nordic companies to invest in Bangladesh. Our work has been made much easier owing to the prudent policy decisions taken by the government to attract FDI. However, there is still much left to accomplish as a country of 170 million with unlimited potential. Nordic Talk is a tete-a-tete, if I may, where we have frank and open conversation with pertinent issues impacting business climate in Bangladesh. We will be hosting Nordic investors and relevant stakeholders to discuss various topics, success stories, and vision for growth in Bangladesh. Today, for our very first episode, we are privileged to have with us Her Excellency Alexandra Berg von Linde, Ambassador of Sweden. Welcome, Your Excellencies. How are you doing today?
Thanks, Tahrin. I'm great. Such a pleasure to be here on this first Nordic Talk.
Thank you so much for giving us the time to be in this Nordic Talk event. We feel privileged to have you on our side with the Nordic Chamber. Your Excellency, I believe you have come to Bangladesh in the middle of the pandemic, if I'm not wrong, right? Although you haven't been able to really expose yourself to the culture of Bangladesh as much as you could have if things were different, I would still like to ask you, so far in Bangladesh, what are you most fond of? Be it food, be it culture, anything you may think of.
Well, there are so many things, but if there are so many things, and then traveling, food, and culture is of course among them. But if I had to choose one thing, it would then be the people. I find that during my time here, I've got an extremely warm and kind welcome, both me and my family, and people are so nice and open and willing to help and guide. So I really look forward to the coming years, and I would say that the people is what has made most impression on me so far, and I don't expect that to change.
Thank you so much. You are spot on. We do have that embedded in our culture, welcoming, be open to everyone. And we're very happy that you see that and you treasure that. And we do really look forward to days when we won't have to wear masks and we won't have to worry about the situation that we are in right now. And hopefully we'll get to take advantage of the Bangladeshi culture even more. Mm-hmm. Without any further delay, I would like to get into the questions. Your Excellency, my first question to you would be, this year marks 50 years of independence in Bangladesh. How has the country performed in achieving its expectations?
Well, let me just start with saying that yes, it is a historical year for Bangladesh, and it's such a privilege to be here as a long-standing partner. As you know, next year the Nordic countries will celebrate 50 years of bilateral relations with Bangladesh. So indeed, exciting times ahead, and it's really a historical moment to be here. I think it's also an opportunity for Bangladesh as a country to really reflect on the journey that it has undertaken and the way forward. So in that sense, very interesting to be able to see. And needless to say, Bangladesh has made an impressive development journey in just 5 decades. When in times of independence, of course, the starting point for this country was extremely challenging, to say the least. But despite such unfavorable circumstances and constraints, Bangladesh has made a spectacular economic and social journey over the last 5 decades. So being here as a partner has been truly amazing in that sense.
Thank you. The country has indeed excelled tremendously, I would say, in the past 50 years, and especially during the pandemic situation, the government of Bangladesh has handled the whole situation in such a way that our business has not shrunk so far, and we are doing okay if in comparison to many other countries who are still suffering because of the whole pandemic. Your Excellency, as we are going forward, what do you think our roadmap should be for Bangladesh?
Well, first of all, I think it is, of course, for Bangladesh to say how the road ahead looks like. And we will be delighted to partner in that journey. But I think that for any country that wishes to continue their development journey, there are a couple of factors that are worth considering. I think that the continued growth and the fact that it is inclusive and that it leaves no one behind is an important factor. And COVID does indeed pose tremendous challenges in that sense, of course. In this context, I think women as a workforce is something that is very much worth underlining. Women have played an important, not to say central part in the increase and the growth of the RMG sector, for instance. And one should see to it that conditions are there in the future for them to continue to be able to contribute to society in this regard. I think another factor would be having a continued eye on relevant education and capacity building of the youth as the future workforce of this country. I think that will be very important, and it can also contribute greatly to the diversification of the economy. A green transition is something that you will hear Swedes and Nordics underline a lot. The availability of renewable energy and reliable access to energy will help Bangladesh's industry to compete in the global market in the long run. And lastly, but not least, in order to continue to attract and fully make use of Bangladesh foreign investment potential, a continuous work on the business climate is something that will also be a determining factor in the journey ahead. So these are some aspects that one might want to take into consideration when one thinks about the future and the journey ahead for Bangladesh.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Social indicators has been a big part of the business environment in Bangladesh, considering the massive amount of employment we have, women employment we have in the RMG sector. So that is definitely a big part. And the SDG goals that you have mentioned sustainability, has also been a big topic that we're working on under Nordic Chamber. And the Nordic companies have also pledged to work on these areas to make it better. My second question to you, Your Excellency, would be, what are your thoughts on the growing Nordic trade relationship with Bangladesh?
Well, as you will know, Sweden as well as the other Nordic countries have ties with Bangladesh that reach back to the independence. And as both of our countries have progressed, so has our ties. So the progress that Bangladesh has made in the economic sector for the last 50 years has gradually also deepened the Bangladesh-Nordic trade relationship, with a growing interest from Sweden and the other Nordic countries in the Bangladeshi market. Sweden has, of course, had a significant presence here in the RMG sector, and several of our around 50 companies have been here for decades. Yet, we do see more interest from Swedish business in partnering with Bangladesh on the journey ahead. So yeah, there is a good potential for increased trade between Sweden and Bangladesh. I think also the positive image that I notice almost on an everyday basis here of Sweden as a country that is sustainable, innovative, has a focus on green business, is an important factor for us all to consider when we promote Swedish industries here. For instance, Sweden-Bangladesh collaboration in energy efficient, low emission green technologies for instance, the RMG sector, but also other sectors, can increase the share of sustainable textile manufacturing locally, and also make Bangladesh more competitive globally.
Your Excellency, there's an interesting statistics that I've come across, and I would like to share this with our viewers. The Nordic Chamber member companies in Bangladesh have collectively contributed over $1 billion to the national exchequer by conservative estimates. And additionally, they have employed over 100,000 locals. So there is already a massive impact the Nordic companies they have in the Bangladeshi economy. And as you say, like there are more growing interest of other Nordic companies to come and invest in Bangladesh. So that is very interesting, and that beautifully takes us to our next question. How do you think the Nordic Chamber can better assist the Nordic companies in their operations in Bangladesh?
Well, as you know better than me, the NCCI has been working with the Nordic companies for more than 10 years, and it's a prominent chamber in the Dhaka and Bangladesh Business Society. So you have been already very helpful in the Nordic business that are present here. And I think that, for instance, the discussions that we arrange are topical and very relevant for attracting more business. But I think also that NCCI serves an important purpose as a network facilitator and a platform to exchange experiences and lessons learned between companies. So that is also a factor that I think is important to take into consideration. Moreover, I think for companies that are interested in coming, NCCI will also be able to serve as a gateway, if you may call it like that, into the Bangladesh market, and also a guide in terms of meeting and connecting to relevant Bangladesh stakeholders. So in sum, I think that your role here for not only the companies that are already present, but the ones that we want to come is fairly crucial. And you should continue your good work.
Thank you so much. We would like to see Nordic Chamber as a one-stop point where all the Nordic companies can come, connect with each other, reconnect, network, and also look for resources that may help them grow even more down the line. In addition, we want to highlight our Bangladesh economy to the other Nordic potential companies who may come to our country as well. Thank you so much. My next question would be, NCCI has been aligned with the Nordic vision of sustainability and green growth. Every year, we host events on ease of doing business and sustainability in Bangladesh. The Nordic companies the Nordic embassies support these events. How important do you feel these values are for Bangladesh as we're moving forward?
Yes, you're right in the sense that we have been collaborating, that the embassies have been collaborating with you on these specific themes. And the reason why we do that is, of course, that we think that they are crucial for us and for Bangladesh and our future our future relations. So both ease of doing business and sustainability is undoubtedly one of the more relevant things that we should continue to build on. And in order to do that, there is a need to have a constant and continuous dialogue with relevant stakeholders about them. So I think we will. That is something that we will definitely continue to build on together because they are central to our business relations here.
Okay. My next question, and I believe you have answered part of it already. My question was, what are your thoughts on the work of Nordic Chamber? So for this question, Your Excellency, I would like to hear about, I would rather hear about the things that we should do as a chamber, not the things that we're doing already. So any comments or thoughts that you may have, anything that we should do that would better assist the Nordic companies who are already here and who might potentially come to Bangladesh down the line?
Well, I think you're already doing a lot, but I think that tapping into themes, for instance, that are of relevance to Swedish and Nordic companies, um, digging in deeper in terms of what does sustainability mean, what does circularity mean, how can Nordic business build on and contribute to the digitalization of Bangladesh. How can we contribute in terms of urban planning, for instance, including infrastructure and transportation, are some of the thematic focuses that I think it is important to dig deeper into. In general, I think digitalization will be key in the future progress of any country, also Bangladesh. And as you know, Swedish companies and Nordic companies have a lot to contribute when it comes to issues as e-commerce, e-governance, digital services, and so on. Likewise, in terms of sustainability and sustainable solutions and technologies in order to transform Bangladesh economy, help it build back better and greener and more environmentally friendly. That is also something that we could also continue to explore in our future work with you.
Absolutely right. Your Excellency, digitization is something that the government of Bangladesh is not just focusing, but hyper focusing on at the moment. And we are seeing that the digitization process is going on in ports, it's happening with the stock market, and it goes on and on. And Nordic companies have a lot of expertise in this field. They have been in this sector for a long time, and we can definitely get a lot of help and support from the Nordic partners down the line. We have come almost towards the end of our question. My last one to you would be, in an ever-changing world, the rule of the game is to adapt and adopt. To increase our virtual presence and stay relevant, we're hosting this series called the Nordic Talk, which discusses pressing issues of the time with relevant stakeholders. What are your thoughts on our new initiative, the Nordic Talk?
Well, I think if there's something that this pandemic has taught us, it is that change is the only constant, so to speak. And as the rest of the world, companies and organizations need to continually adapt to a very dynamic scenario. And in order to stay relevant, I think that this is an illustrating example on how you can, in an innovative way, talk about issues that are relevant to Swedish and to Nordic countries. and business. So I think that in that sense, it's a little bit of a new take, and that is something that we welcome, of course. So a good initiative, and I hope I can't wait to see what comes out of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your time and your invaluable support for the Nordic Chamber. We hope you have a wonderful summer, and we look forward to working with you and the mission on our upcoming events. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tahrin, for having me.
Dear viewers, thank you for joining us. We will be back with more episodes on current topics. So stay tuned and stay connected.